Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tess if you are new here, and if you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back. Despite my lies, because I may have said that you guys were going to get 5 new doll custom videos in October, and I uploaded 2. Sorry about that. Good reason, because those dolls are technically already done. If you follow me over on Instagram, which you should, go follow me, the information will be down below, then you already saw photos and process videos for those dolls. I just couldn't find time in the month of October to edit the full-length YouTube videos because I also painted 5 denim jackets and 5 purses in addition to the 5 doll customs I did in October. I really overbooked myself and I just could not find time to edit the YouTube videos. So 2 are up already in case you missed those. The 3rd one you are watching right now and the other 2 will be up as soon as possible. I do have like a little bit of free time now before the end of the year, so I should be able to get them up fairly quickly, so stay tuned for that. And I think that is everything. Oh, I'm making Art the Clown. I never remember to say what I'm doing in my intro. I'm making Art the Clown from Terrifier, and he turned out very cute in my opinion. So I think that's everything. Comment, like, and subscribe, and let's get into the doll custom. Okay, so first things first, like every other doll video I ever post, I need to get this doll back down to factory basics, so I'm gonna take some scissors and chop off her hair as close to the scalp as possible. Once that is done, I just take some hot water. I get mine from my coffee machine, and I'm going to dunk her head in there to soften the plastic of her head to make it easier to pop off of the neck peg. Once that is done, I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver to scrape the plugs of her hair from the inside of the head so it's easier to pull out. Once I scrape all of the plugs on the inside of the head using the flathead screwdriver, I'm going to take some tweezers to now remove all that loose hair. And then I'm taking some 100% acetone and cotton rounds to remove the paint of her face and her hair. And of course the best part is trying to get the face off in one go. And once she is entirely blank, I'm just going to rinse her with some warm water and soap. And typically the next step would be doing the hair, but Art the Clown does not have hair. Instead, he has this white fitted hood thing. So I'm going to make that first. And I don't necessarily have a pattern for this, so I'm just tracing the head to get the general shape. And then I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of fabric in that same shape and sew them together. My first go at this doesn't work as well because it is a little too small, but then I just do it again and cut the fabric a little bigger and it fits perfectly. I set that hood off to the side, and then after spraying the head with some Mr. Super Clear, I'm going to use some white acrylic paint to build up many, many layers of white paint until it's a very opaque base. And once he is a nice flat white, I'm going to take some red acrylic paint, water it down a little bit, and use a paintbrush to add some blood specks to his face. And once I get some organic ones on there, I'm going to take a detailed brush to kind of finesse some of those dots. And then back to making the outfit, I'm cutting these strips out to make a ruff collar. I believe that's what they're called, those clown frilly collars. So I'm just folding it over so there's a little hole in the fabric that I can thread some elastic bands through. And then once you do that, you can scrunch the fabric up so it makes that sort of ruffled effect. I'm going to pop the head back on and put the hood on, and off camera I glued on some pom-poms. He doesn't actually have them, but I couldn't resist. And now to make the outfit, Art has this very iconic split tone black and white clown outfit. So here I'm just making his top. The Art the Clown character, his outfit is one full piece, but I'm making a top and pants. So for the top, I'm just sewing 1/2 white and 1/2 black and the sleeves inverted. I'm adding some more elastic to the wristbands of the outfit so it's cinched at his wrists. And then using some fabric glue, I'm taking those same pom-poms I put on the collar and adding them down the front of the shirt. And now for the pants, I am just following a pant pattern I use for pretty much all my dolls. But I'm cutting out one pant leg to be black and one pant leg to be white. And just like the top, I'm gonna add elastic to the ankle so it's cinched at the foot. And I know drawing attention to something just makes people notice it when they probably didn't, but I know my nails are so grown out. I know. I'm watching this video back while doing the voiceover and I'm like, oh my God, those are so bad. I had a nail appointment. My nail artist got sick. She had to push it back. I have since gotten my nails done and they look much better now, but just ignore those. And now onto the shoes. I'm taking an old pair of doll shoes that I have and using some 2-part epoxy sculpt to sculpt some cool designs on them. If you're familiar with the movie, this scene will be very jarring. So on one heel, I am just sculpting a bone saw type thing. And on the other heel, I'm going to be sculpting 2 legs with the feet sticking up. If you know, you know. And now using that leftover epoxy sculpt, I'm just taking another old pair of doll glasses that I have and sculpting some sunflowers on them. And then taking some red rhinestones, I'm gonna bedazzle some blood splatter on his outfit. Like the face, I was gonna splatter blood on the outfit using paint, but I remembered I had these little tiny gemstones and I thought it would be perfect. And now that the shoes are dry, I'm gonna go to paint them. I'm painting them all black and then I will go in and be a little bit more detailed with the heel. So I'm just painting the legs a skin tone and I will add blood to them because again, if you know, you know. And you might see that face in the corner. I completely misremembered this scene from Terrifier where he is wearing a woman to leave out as many details as possible. And I thought he was just wearing her face. Turns out he's wearing everything but her face. So ignore that. That was a mistake. But now onto his little black hat. I'm just using some cardboard that I have laying around and cutting out the general shape of the hat. And then using some of that white fabric that I used for the outfit because it's stretchy and very thick, I'm gonna wrap the cardboard with that and then paint it black using some acrylic paint. And then Art the Clown is wearing these white fingerless gloves, and so to avoid sewing them, I'm just painting them onto the hand, and then I'm going to use some soft pastels to add some detail to them. But now moving on to the face up, I'm just blushing his cheeks because this Art the Clown is a little bit cuter than the original Art the Clown. And using some watercolor pencils, I'm just going to sketch on the eyes. I'm going for a very cute, looking off to the side face. A little mischievous because Art the Clown is a little jokester. I like to sketch with these watercolor pencils and then go in with really watered down acrylic to do the rest of the details. For example, his little nose dot, I'm just using some black acrylic paint. And then using that same black acrylic paint to color in his clown smile. I'm just adding some detail to the irises. I did one eye off camera, and so now I'm just going to do the other one and copy what I did to the other eye. I'm using that black acrylic paint to add his clown eye paint, which is pretty much just black all around the eyes and then the clown lines above and below. I'm using another watercolor pencil to sketch out where the other eyebrow is going to go and try to line it up with the first eyebrow I did before going in with black acrylic paint. And then using some soft pastels, I'm just going to blush around the eyes with some black and brown. Art the Clown is pretty much just solid white and black, but I thought adding the blushing and the eyeshadow gave him more depth. I'm just adding some resin to the eyes to make them glossy, so I use a brush to move it around, and then I have this UV light to cure it. And then my new favorite thing to do with dolls is add real eyelashes to them. So I'm taking these little tiny eyelashes and I'm going to glue them to the eyes, especially when I do dolls that are looking off to the side. I think eyelashes make them so cute. And now the reveal. And I ended up filming a short of me making a box for this doll. So I'm going to include that here so you guys can see the finished product of him in the box. But thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far in the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned. I have 2 other doll videos that are complete that I just need to edit, so those will be up any day now. I also have so many more ideas for dolls, so stay tuned for those. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!